presentation skills. We've covered off a lot, and you've all made progress, and I heard good things. And a couple of parents have written me about good things, so thank you. Keep doing your best. So we've covered off introductions. Who remembers what should be in an introduction?
Name, age, and grade.
Yep, and what else might be in it?
You could have a little bit of silly.
Yep,
A favorite food.
perhaps a favorite food,
A favorite color.
favorite color.
Tell what you're going to explain in your presentation.
Yes, explain what's in your presentation. So the intro can be formal, informal, but your name, your age, when you're talking to other students. If you were talking to the Kiwanis Club or the Lions Club about a school project and you want their help, you might tell them your name, your age, and where you go. But if you're talking to the general public on television, you might not be. Well, you never know. You could be on a talk show about a science project. I could see you winning a science fair project this year or in 10 years. So you get interviewed. My name is, I'm in grade 11 at, right? But they don't need to know your favorite cheesecake. Then maybe again you want to tell them you like blueberry cheesecake and get a sponsorship. Too much cheesecake though, you get a stomach ache. So introductions, really important to know and get comfortable defining how you're going to deliver, right? Because you do it really well. And you are really good at being contemplative and also sometimes very expressive depending on what you want to project. So I like that. I appreciate that. So introduction of self. You just said introduction of the topic. So when you're doing the topic, what do you want to include?
What you're going to explain.
Okay, so you're going to break it down into parts, right? My topic is, and the 3 main points or the 7 main points, depending on the length of your topic and presentation. And then you're going to launch into your presentation. Like the 7 pieces of my presentation include. Now, part 1 is, and I explained to you at the very beginning, imagine your presentation is like you're walking into a house. You open the door, the hallway is your introduction of yourself. You walk a little further, introduction of your topic. And then the room on the left is the first piece of the topic. The second room on the left is the second piece of the topic. And the third room is the third part of the topic. So if it's a short presentation, maybe there's only 3 pieces. And then the room on the right, the 4th piece, that's where you remind people of the 3 pieces of your topic. And the next one, you thank them for listening and you call them to what?
To do something.
Call to action. So there's a famous Canadian I'm not going to name because he used to do amazing presentations about a really important topic, but he was Mr. Doom and Gloom. There was no call to action. It's just like, we got to do something and it's going the wrong way. So I boldly bought a ticket and went to one of his presentations and said, hey, you're an expert at this, but you got to stop being helpless and hopeless because you're basically telling people there's nothing we can do. He was doing Chicken Little things. The sky is falling. The sky is falling. I said, give them something they can do in 10 minutes a week, something they can do in 1 hour a week, something they can do in 1/2 day a month, or something they can do for $2, $10, $1,000. Like, give them some to-dos, a call to action. So when you're doing your presentation at the end, what's your call to action? It could be as simple as talk to your parents, talk to your siblings, talk to your neighbor, talk to your teacher. Remind them about these 2 things. It could be a call to action about, next time I see my doctor, if it's a health item, I'm going to have to ask them about this issue. So call to action's really important, and how you do it is really, really important. This environmental stuff, it's really tough. We should all try harder.
Yeah.
That going to get you excited to do something?
Not much.
It's the people I'm seeing that are doing river and seaside plastic cleanup. Really impressive. I don't know if you've seen the videos on YouTube, but they get 50 volunteers and a river that's got 3 feet, 6 feet of plastic junk from all types of society. And these people all got rubber gloves, they got hip waders on. Some of them have bike helmets because they're working around the edges of a giant culvert, so when they're in there cleaning, they don't want to hit their head. And they take away tons of debris in one day. That gets me excited that there's hope for the oceans to clean up. And then there's people who are selling river nets to catch the plastic debris before it goes in the ocean. So it's not reactive, it's proactive. It's taking action in advance so it doesn't go out in the ocean and cause miles and square miles of debris in the ocean. So does that make sense? Introduce yourself. Introduce the topic. How many parts to the topic are you going to discuss? After you've discussed the parts of the topic, remind them of the parts of the topic you just talked about. Short little pieces, just a couple sentences each. And then thank them that they listened to you, and then a call to action. Could be short, could be a little longer. But when I was a regional director for Children of Chernobyl, that's where we brought 8 to 12-year-olds away from Chernobyl reactor where the radiation was affecting their bodies. It was really amazing. The call to action was, it cost us, my numbers are wrong because it was a long time ago, $1,000 to bring a child over for 6 weeks. But when we send them home with an English-Russian picture dictionary. So they've learned a few hundred words of English by the end of the summer. That could only help their employment opportunities later. We send them home with 3 sets of clothing. We send them home with a pair of shoes because these people were so poor that a pair of shoes here for 40 bucks represented a month of income there. A month. What can we get here for 40, 50 bucks? Not a lot when it comes to clothing and food for a month. But for them, so we learned that. So we started sending them home with a pair of very practical shoes and relaxed but dressy shoes, and we found out, and we did that because we found out that they could sell them for more than a month of income. So if we can help you with a month of income, let's do it, because 40 bucks for us was nothing compared to for them. So we found out that by asking a call to action, $2 will help them buy a pair of underwear. You got $30, you help them buy a pair of shoes. If you want to sponsor them for the whole time they're here, it'll cost $1,100 for transportation and airfare. And so it was amazing how many people, here's 40 bucks, here's 100 bucks. It was just like people phoning, where can I drop off $100? It's like, oh my. But the call to action, we went on the radio when I worked with the Kosovo refugees. These people aren't here for a handout, they're here for a hand up. And for any of us that have had relatives come to Canada escaping a war or a weather issue or other things, for all the reasons we change countries, a hand up is a good thing. So we got hundreds of people donating 20 bucks, and we gave them all, they all got an Albanian English-Albanian picture dictionary as part of the fundraising so that it helped them integrate faster. Yes?
My school, we have a thing called Better Beginnings where we help, where like one classroom takes in charge for a family and donates things like gifts, toys, gift cards.
Excellent. Well, we all deserve to be safe and nurtured. And so the Albanian English picture dictionary, the day after, because every family of 4 got one, and if you're a family of 5 or bigger, you got 2. The next day, I'm walking through the refugee camp of 800 people. I'm getting, hello, hello. The day before, they didn't know what to say. I just say hello, and they nod. That was it. The next day, they'd all been practicing. Because I found out of 800 refugees, 12 of them knew English. So the picture dictionary, they set up language classes the same night they got the books. So that's why it's important to have a call for action. You'd be surprised in your life how many times people complain about things, but they don't have a solution. There's no call to action. So that's what we've been talking about. Presentations. How do you choose to look? What's your body language? How do you introduce yourself? You said maybe something silly. So I always tease the class that you're always welcome in the introduction to say, and I'm doing this presentation on ABC because my teacher Michael forced me to. And that'll make me smile. You'll smile. That helps you relax a little bit. And then you do your presentation. That make sense? So you're all making good progress. So thank you for that. Any questions? No? Yes?
No.
No, and so one student does something very good at using the odd big word, and that's good because it makes the audience pay attention. Too many big words that people don't understand, and they'll give up listening, right? You don't want to do that. But one word, it's like, geez, I got to look that up. So when I watch TV, I listen to scientists on occasion. It's like, well, I understand it all. Wait a minute, what was that word? So I like a word or two that makes me think, and I have to learn it. But if you use big words every sentence, you'll lose them. But you do it really appropriately, so thank you. So that's our wrap up for this year, and now we have some class presentations to do.